Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily if you're new here. Today's video I want to go through all the books that I have bought over the last 2 months possibly. I did do a book haul I think around 2 months ago, so this is like over the last 2.5 months that I have accumulated. So I have 17 books here. Buy every single one of these books, but I did buy a majority, so I am capping myself next year as like a book buying ban, but not exactly banning myself, but I am capping at how many books that I am allowed to buy per month. So I will be hopefully reading more of my physical TBR over the next few months. I just want to go through all the books that I have recently purchased or that I was gifted. I have 17 books here, so let's just get straight into it. I have broken each genre into piles, so I have a thriller / horror pile, I have a romance pile, and I also have a fantasy pile. So if you can also hear birds in the background, please ignore the noise. Where I film, it is right next to these big trees and there's birds everywhere, so let's just get straight into it. The first book that I want to talk about is The Professor. This is by Lauren Nosset. This was kindly sent to me by Pam Macmillan. I did request this. It kind of intrigued me. The premise of, well, the synopsis of this book intrigued me. It is a thriller. Karen Slaughter has blurbed it saying a thoroughly gripping mystery, so I'm excited to read it. I'm just going to read out the synopsis. So, a new crime thriller from the award-winning Lauren Nosset. So I think this book is a part of a whole universe, but this can be read as a standalone from what I know. So Ethan Haddock is discovered in his apartment dead, apparently by his own hand. His professor is taken in for questioning, and rumors swell that his death is the result of a student-teacher bad romance. The story hits the media and investigation is opened. The professor is suspended and social media crusaders and trolls alike are out for blood. Marlet Kaplan has never investigated love affairs. A former detective turned research assistant, she misses the excitement of her old job. When her mother, a colleague of the accused professor, asks for her help, Marlet finds herself in an impossible position of proving something that didn't happen. Without the authority to interview suspects or access phone records, she will have to get closer to a victim's life than ever before. But will she get too close to see the truth? So that's why I was really intrigued. Like, I haven't really read anything like this, as in like a sort of student teacher forbidden love turned bad. So I'm excited to pick up The Professor. The next book is a horror, and this is a Lumicrate Evernight exclusive, Last to Leave the Room by Caitlin Sterling. This edition is just so cool. I did do a whole unboxing about this book on my YouTube channel, so I will link that unboxing in the cards. I won't go too much into this. It is a doppelganger horror story, so I'm just really intrigued to pick it up. I just love the cover design of this book. It is so cool. It comes with a signed book plate and everything, but even if I don't enjoy the story, at least have a really cool book to put on my shelf, so that's why I'm very happy with this. So this is the Waterstones exclusive edition of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. One of my absolute favorite reads of the year. I'm absolutely obsessed with this series. It is just the coolest edition, so I had to pick it up. I couldn't not get it. So that is just basically that edition. So the case is closed, everyone knows he did it, but she's about to prove them all wrong, which is what the back of this book says. It is basically, if you don't know what A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series is about following Pip Fitz-Amobi, and she is a high school student who has been tasked to do some research into a project that will get her some extra credit for her final grades, and so she decides to investigate Ravi Singh's brother Sal, and he was accused of murdering his partner Andy Bell at the time, but you know, the investigation opens and there is a lot of truth that gets uncovered in the first book, so really enjoyed it. The next book here is A Haunting in Venice by Agatha Christie. I've never read anything by Agatha Christie before. This will be my first novel by the author. I just really am intrigued to pick this one up in particular. This is one of her most known novels. There are so many Agatha Christie books out there, and I felt most comfortable about picking this one up, particularly because it was at Big W and also because there is an adaptation film to it. So this is what the synopsis says. When a Halloween party turns deadly, it falls to Hercule Poirot to unmask a murderer. During a night of party games, Joyce Reynolds boasts that have once witnessed a murder. No one believes her, but then she is found drowned, face down in an apple bobbing tub, set against a night of trickery and the occult. Hercule Poirot and Ariadne Oliver must race to uncover the real evil responsible for this ghastly murder. So it is a mystery thriller. Agatha Christie is well known for those. I'm intrigued to pick this one up. Then we have Rouge by Mona Award. I have already started this book. I am about 60 pages in at the moment, but I just have not had the time to sit down and binge this book because I want to immerse myself entirely in the story, as Mona Award's writing is so compelling. I just really enjoy her writing and I love Bunny, so I want to just binge this book and not have to put it down when I'm reading it, as I know I'm going to go through a rabbit hole. So this novel is a gothic fairy tale about a lonely dress shop clerk whose mother's unexpected death sends her down a treacherous path in pursuit of youth and beauty. Can she escape her mother's fate and find a connection that is more than skin deep? So Belle becomes absolutely obsessed with skincare and we basically follow the cult vibes. This is definitely a cult book, so I'm very, very excited to pick this up when I do. I am just so excited to read more from Mona Award. Bunny is one of my favorite reads of the year as well. Then I have Tomes by Junji Ito. This is a collection by him. I'm so excited to read this at some point. I love the art style of Junji Ito's art style. It is so creepy, and all the reviews on Goodreads were, I think it was over 4 point something for Tomes, so I had to pick this one up as this one really called out to me, as well as the cover. The colors are just so vibrant and I'm absolutely obsessed, so I'm just excited to read this. Then we have another horror, which is Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. I am just honestly collecting all of Grady Hendrix's works. I have read 3 novels by him now, 4 technically, as I read a creature feature that featured Grady Hendrix. So I have read How to Sell a Haunted House, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, My Best Friend's Exorcism, and then I also read, what was the other one? Ankle Snatcher. Ankle Snatcher was the creature feature that I read by Grady Hendrix. So this is another book that I have not read by Grady Hendrix, and I have this book, Final Girl Support Group, and then there is another novel by him that I have not read. It has like a tuck pink on the cover, I'm pretty sure. But this is basically a horror novel based in a knockoff IKEA store, and we're just basically uncovering what actually is going on in the store because things are happening and it's unexplainable. So this is why I picked it up, as well as the cover design is just really cool. It looks like a coffee table book, so I'm really excited to read Horror Store when I do get to it. Moving on to fantasy now. So I only have a few books here. Majority of them are by Holly Black. So the first book that I want to talk about is Book of Night by Holly Black. I just want to collect all of Holly Black's works. I am absolutely obsessed with her writing. I love the Elfane world. So this is one of her newer releases, and I'm not even too sure what Book of Night is about. I've heard definitely mixed reviews, but the booktubers who I do watch and have thoroughly enjoyed this book, we do have quite similar reading tastes, so I have high hopes that I'm going to enjoy myself reading this book. So I'm just really excited. There is just a lot of fae series that Holly Black has written, as well as a few eerie middle grade books. I'm pretty sure, I think it was called Doll Bones, is it, by Holly Black? So I can see where her darker fantasy novels come from, but I'm really excited to pick up this. This is also the Waterstones exclusives that I found on Marketplace, and the spread edges are absolutely stunning. There is this like blue on both the bottom and then has the moon and stars. It's just gorgeous. And then speaking of Holly Black, I may as well just talk about this series. So I picked up the trilogy of a modern fairy tale series. I am really excited to read this series. This is more YA, but I think these are definitely more YA than the Folk of the Air series. This was her first sort of fantasy series that she came out with. So this series, I'm not even sure what it's about. I just absolutely love the covers as well. They're absolutely stunning. So the first book in the series is Teeth, and then you have Valiant and Ironside. And so the synopsis of Teeth is: Kay is used to drifting from place to place with her mother's rock band until an ominous attack forces them back to her childhood home. Kay's always had the unique ability to see fairies, so when she stumbles upon an injured fairy knight in the woods, she decides to save him. But this fatal choice has dire consequences, and she soon finds herself the unwilling pawn in an ancient and violent power struggle between two rival fairy kingdoms. Will Kay escape with her life? It sounds so good, and these are really short reads. Like, the first book is around 250 pages, so I think I will absolutely fly through this trilogy when I do get to it. So I'm really excited and happy that I picked these up. And have The Mysterious Society of Lady Scoundrels by India Holton. I also have already started reading this book. I am about halfway through it. I put it down as I was focusing on other reads for vlogs, but this is a historical fantasy romance. This entails a lady society of pirates. These ladies are pirates. They have the ability to incantate houses, so they have magic as well as being pirates, so they are basically like witches, but it is set in like historical London. Just really cool vibes, but the writing style is definitely historical, so it has taken me a lot longer to get through, as I have never read a historical romance before. So I am nonetheless really enjoying it, and I definitely will pick it up again soon, but I'm glad that I did pick it up. I then have Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, and I did receive this from a Secret Santa gift, so I'm not sure who actually sent this, but thank you to my Secret Santa. I am so excited to read this. I have had this on my wish list for quite a while, so I'm very happy that it was picked for me to read. This is what the synopsis says for Once Upon a Broken Heart, as I am honestly not even sure what the series is about. I know it is a whimsical fantasy novel. For as long as she can remember, Evangeline Fox has believed in happily ever after, until she learns that the love of her life is about to marry another, and her dreams are shattered. Despite desperate to stop the wedding and heal her wounded heart, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic but wicked Prince of Hearts. In exchange for his help, he asks for 3 kisses to be given at the same time and place of his choosing. But after Evangeline's first promised kiss, she learns that bargaining with an immortal is a dangerous game, and that the Prince of Hearts wants far more from her than she pleaded. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that she will either end in the greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. This honestly sounds amazing, and I don't know why I haven't picked it up sooner. I absolutely love fairy tale stories, and I know this is definitely going to give me that fairy tale magical vibes. So I'm really excited to pick up this once I do get to it. So the next pile that I have is my romance pile, and this is the last pile of the haul, so I'm just going to get into it. So the first one I have is Checkmate by Ellie Hazelwood. This is Ellie Hazelwood's first YA novel. It is obviously about chess, so I'm really excited to read it. I actually find chess really interesting, although I do know that, side note, for this YA book, apparently it is not too YA, like it kind of deter younger YA readers, so I think this would be more from like 16 plus from what I have heard on reviews. Then I have Love Theoretically by Ellie Hazelwood as well. This is her newest adult romance release that was released earlier in the year. I'm not too sure. I haven't read it yet, but I am so excited. I really did enjoy Love on the Brain and The Love Hypothesis. Love on the Brain, Bea and Levi are my favorite book couple from her novels, so this is going to be hopefully a really good book for me. I have heard that this is even better than those 2 books, so I'm really excited. Basically, the synopsis of this book is the many lives of theoretical physicist Elise Hanaway has finally caught up with her. By day, she's an adjunct professor toiling away at grading labs and teaching thermodynamics in the hopes of landing tenora. By other day, Elise makes up for her non-existent paycheck by offering her services as a fake girlfriend, being into her expertly owned people-pleasing skills to embody whichever version of herself the client needs. Honestly, it's a pretty sweet gig, until her carefully constructed Elsieverse comes crashing down, because Jack Smith, the annoyingly attractive and arrogant older brother of her favourite client, turns out to be the cold-hearted experimental physicist who ruined her mentor's career and undermined the reputation of the theorists everywhere. And he's the same Jack Smith who rules over the physics department at MIT, standing right between Elise and her dream job. Elise is prepared for an all-out war of scholarly sabotage, but those long, penetrating looks, not having to be anything other than her true self when she's with him, will falling into an experimentalist orbit finally tempt her to put her most guarded theories on love into practice. I forgot that she was a fake dater. I'm absolutely obsessed with that and I cannot wait to read this book. Then we have 2 Christmas romances, and it is obviously December time, so I am reading the Hallmark vibes. The first book is Wreck the Halls by Pixabay. This is a holiday romance. So basically we follow Beat and Melody, and both of their mothers were these massive rock stars back in the day, and there was a massive band breakup. So they haven't spoken since in, I think, over 20 years, and Beat and Melody are asked to reunite the band, and things happen. The relationship forms between Beat and Melody, and we basically follow this reality TV show that is now taking place. So I have already started this book. I'm 225 pages into it and I am really enjoying it. I do find Beat to be a little bit annoying, so we'll see how it plays out and how the rest of the book will be, but I am really enjoying this book. The last book on this book haul is Love Like Farms. This is by B.K. Borison. This is a romance about a Christmas tree farm, and it is a friends to lovers story. I do not read a lot of friends to lovers, I'm going to be honest, but I did start reading this over the weekend. I'm like nearly 50 pages in and it's a really cute read. So I'm really excited to continue reading this, and I hope it will be a 5-star read for me because I love the cover. It is just really cute holiday Christmas vibes. Like, I'm getting those Christmas vibes straight away, even from just reading the first 50 pages of this book. So that concludes my book haul. I really hope you all enjoyed me going through all of my books that I have recently purchased. Thank you for watching day 10 of Bookmas. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!